Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
I'm Envy Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And we're back with more of our... This is the last week of the preliminaries for the Magical Girl tournament. How are we all feeling?
Well, we had two heavy hitters this week, and we also had a couple shows that made me question what Japanese writers were thinking, but, you know.
Yeah.
We have a mixed bag.
I don't remember if you've mentioned this on the podcast, but Al keeps mentioning maybe just ending the show after this tournament is done. Every time I've been like, no, why? I feel like we have fun doing this every week, but after this week of shows, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I ever want to watch anime again.
Well,
Are there any good ones? Anime was a mistake.
Ah, I see. You've got Miyazaki syndrome.
Yeah, he was right.
All right, well, with all those happy thoughts out of the way, we had the Papa Prozac category and the basically Power Rangers category this week for our stuff. These are the last 8 shows before we're going into the Sweet 16. We watched 32 different shows in the last couple of weeks. Like, anyone feeling fatigue at this point, or is it just like, or are we feeling excitement for like possibly seeing shows that we actually enjoyed again?
I'm feeling like we actually need to actively participate in these brackets a little more and clear some stuff before you put them on there.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. The man said
I feel
after
like
having
I'm
to
on a watch list now.
Yeah, after like I have to put all this stuff together with minimal time.
Yeah, I feel like you did ask us multiple times about the shows, so I don't think it's your fault.
Thank you.
I just don't know any of them, to be honest. I feel like most of us just don't know them by name, so we don't know what to expect, you know, or how bad they are.
There's an element of that I like because I get to see things that are new.
Mm.
But there's also the risk of, ooh, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's stop bearing the lead here. Let's get into it a little bit. So, Papa Prozac, we have Madoka Magica versus Magical Girl Sight, and Yuki Yuna is a Hero versus Magical Girl Raising Project. And then for our basically Power Rangers, we have Sailor Moon versus Eternal Alice, and Magic Knight RayEarth versus Tokyo Mew Mew. I will tell you this right now. One of these shows is my all-time favorite Magical Girl show, and I'm not going to tell you which.
Okay.
I think we know.
Yeah, you probably know. So, all right, let's get into it. We just want to start off with Madoka.
Do we really need the fancy description for this one?
It's tradition.
I guess.
We do it for the tradition.
This show started the whole channel. Like, I think we know what it is.
Yeah.
Technically, I started the channel... No. To be fair, I started the channel in high school so that I could get around age-restricted videos. But...
Oh, that's the real purpose of this channel.
Let's be real. Back in the day, it's the only reason anyone who wasn't making videos made a YouTube channel.
That's true.
So, yeah. Just happened to do something with it later, a little bit.
I made a channel to subscribe to my favorite creators.
That's great. I just remembered who they were and looked them up. But I'm built different, I guess.
I support my content creators.
Support your content creators. Like us. Like and subscribe, please.
I'm gonna start watching your videos with ad block on.
Oh, as if I'm making money anyway.
It's true.
Okay. You know, enough. All right, here we go. Madoka Magica. Madoka Kaname and Sayaka Miki are regular middle school girls with regular lives, but all that changes when they encounter Kyubei, a cute little magical familiar, and Homura Akemi, the new transfer student. Kyubei offers to grant any one of their wishes in exchange for becoming a magical girl, gaining enough power to fulfill their dreams. However, Homura Akemi, a magical girl herself, urges them not to accept the offer, stating that everything is not what it seems. God, who's first? Chibi!
Who was first?
Chibi, you're first. Tell us, Madoka, how do you feel about the first episode of Madoka?
So this one is actually pretty nostalgic for me. So this was one of the first shows that we watched in anime club in college when I was a freshman. Mm-hmm. So I am fairly attached to this one. And I will say it is definitely one of the shows that I like. If you'll ask me about, like, magical girl animes, this would normally be one of the ones that I would mention as far as, like, ones to recommend if you're looking for something that's magical girl but isn't too kiddish. And I'm gonna just say right now, I actually watched... So, in the video that you posted to our share drive, I watched This Is first, and Magical Girl Sight is second. I watched this second, because I'm like, I'm gonna need a palate cleanser after Sight, because I was already a little bit aware of what was going to be going on.
Let's hold off on like our opinions on Sight just for now.
I know. But yes, this was my palate cleanser. And I really like the show. The art style, for when we first watched it, I thought was pretty different than generally a lot of the other Magical Girl shows that we watched. And the tone is definitely like a bit on the darker side, already having like rivaling magical girls, which is pretty established with Mami and Homura within that first episode. And I don't know, I enjoy the characters, and I don't know, I feel like this episode, while sort of like kind of like getting us to the point of like, oh, this is what this show's gonna be about, like they're gonna make a wish and make a contract, and sort of like we're going to watch as they become magical girls without it really actually happening. And sort of it kind of gives us a little bit of like a cliffhanger, I guess, but one that keeps me interested in wanting to watch. And I think just like, maybe this is also just nostalgia bias, but I'd give this the A, just because I like this show.
Let's not forget, Chibi, the first anime that we watched our freshman year in Anime Club was this show and another back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
That was a 1-2 combo right there.
What was
And
the second one? I feel like I always had to leave for a different club after this one. What was the second one?
Another. Well, Another came first, and then it was Madoka Magica. So
Okay.
yeah, it was and I said this before on the podcast. That was my introduction to anime. So yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so everyone's depressed. I see.
Yeah. Yeah. But in all seriousness, it's a good first episode. I mean, the show doesn't become the show that it's known for until the end of episode 3. But even in the first episode, it does have an interesting premise, and it does have a slightly darker tone than a lot of other shows that we've watched so far. So, I mean, whenever this moves on in 2 weeks, we will definitely talk about episodes 2 and 3 more. But for now, I will say that it is a good pilot episode that keeps you on a little... It keeps you guessing a little bit for the first 2 episodes, but its first ED definitely is a misdirection.
Oh yes.
And then once the episode 3 comes out, Magia's the real ED comes out, you know what show you're getting into. But yeah, for this episode, it's an A.
Hey Envy, can I say, bold of you to assume it's going to be advancing. Magical Girl Sight could have a chance.
Plenty of things could have a chance. Let's maybe hold off on doing our judgments until the actual judging section.
Yay.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I spoke too soon. How does Homura feel about this show?
There's a lot of notes.
Loaded question.
Oh, too many notes.
Yeah, so I am pretty sure I've said this on the pod before, but I wasn't part of Anime Club freshman year, so I did not watch this with everybody else.
No, I dragged you in at the end of freshman year.
Yeah, okay, so I went to maybe 2 meetings and was on my DS the entire time, did not watch a lick of anime. So I didn't watch this with everyone else, and then a year later, I was made to watch this show under duress. Did not have a great time. So I was like, going into this, I was like, okay, we're gonna give Madoka Magica a fair shake. And by the end of it, I was like, no, I think I just hate the show.
Wow.
I don't think it was the dress that made it bad. Okay, what are my notes? I forgot that Kyubey sounded like that. I'm too used to Al's voice.
Wow.
I don't remember what this was in reference to, but pointing at a lesbian couple. So which of you is Beyonce and which one is also Beyonce? Oh, that was in her dream sequence.
Yes.
When she was like hugging herself naked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you
that
mean the
reminded me
opening?
Yeah.
Yes.
That reminded me of that meme. What the fuck do her parents do to afford a house like that?
Her mom is a CEO. Not really.
And
I
a
don't
vampire.
She's
Yes. All of that.
she does business and business things.
She looks like a lawyer to me.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I think they state later that she works for some kind of like firm. I don't know whether that's legal or whether it's like a business firm or something. It's something that she is paid well for.
Yeah, the dad just stays at home.
Lucky guy.
Yeah. Mm,
Honestly, look at it. I'll get to my thoughts later. It's not my turn.
For a show with almost no boys in it that somehow doesn't pass the Bechdel test, and I think the animation is bad and inconsistent. I do not like it. The only point I'll give it is I love Madoka's magical design. I think there's like classic magical girl look to her. Other than that, no, I kind of hated it this time around too.
Okay.
There were definitely some Kyubey faces.
I'm just curious, Cece, have you seen the whole series, like all 12 episodes in the movie Rebellion?
Not the movie, but I did watch all 12 episodes, yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
Wait, did you give a yay or no?
I guess I'm meh. Watch it just so that, like, our abridged series seems even funnier.
Okay. So,
Oh, fair.
I saw Madoka around when it was first coming out, which I want to say is around when I was like 14. And others can attest, when it was in Anime Club with another, I was really excited because I'd seen both of them all the way through and I knew the plot twists. And I think we watched like 3 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect.
Yep.
But I actually don't like Madoka that much, and I really didn't understand when I was watching it the first go around when I was younger why all of the boys that I was friends with, they were the ones who originally like recommended it. They're like, no, it's so good, you gotta watch it, and everyone was like singing its praises, and I'm like, I thought it was mid, and I'm like, I don't understand what you guys are getting out of this. But learning that it's written, directed, and produced by men, one of which, I think the director, was also working on Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. Yeah, it suddenly makes a little bit more sense why I didn't like it so much. It was not aimed at me. Men don't know how to cater to an audience of young girls, and I feel like that's why it's such a subversion, in air quotes, of the genre. Because it's not really meant to be like a subversion of the genre. It's meant to be something that appeals to boys. I got jump scared when Hitomi actually talked. I'm like, wait, that's not right.
Did I actually do a good job?
Also, the dub kinda sucks. It can kick rocks.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I did not like how they mispronounced everything. Ugh. I did not know they were middle schoolers. I was always under the impression they were high schoolers.
Nope.
So that Nanoha director can also kick rocks. Like, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy in particular. Animation is really janky. The parts they do well are like the witch maze sections, labyrinth. And I think, again, that's just because it's not really like a style you see in anime often. Music is amazing, but overall I'm kind of like Like, watch it to say you watched it. Like, there's nothing wrong with enjoying it, but also, like, I think it's important to be critical of the media we consume. I'm done now.
Sorry, what were you again?
A meh.
Okay. Since we're all talking about whenever we first watched this, I was there when we watched the first couple episodes of this with you guys. I think it was the first episode where I was like, that is a soulless demon, do not trust it. And everyone said,
Yep.
Al, no, this is a cute show. It's fine. Like, he's going to kill them. That little cat creature is going to kill them. And everyone's like, no, shut up. You're ruining this. Then we finished episode 3. I was like, I told you, and I dipped. So.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, Al, you had your movie club right before Anime Club.
After. We did the screenings at 9 on that day. So I always had to leave like just before that to like run the movies next door. So yeah, fortunate that day you guys decided to watch Madoka early. I got to have that fun moment. But yeah, looking back on this, I will agree, as someone who had to edit this episode so many times over and over and over again, it is jarring not hearing our voices coming out of these images. Yeah, this is one of the few shows that we've actually, from this tournament that we've actually, looked at on this series. So we have a full review of it in, I think 3 or 4 parts, because we also include the movie at some point. I did try to kind of go into this with as fresh eyes as I can, which is difficult, but trying to just look at it as is, sort of in a vacuum. I did end up liking it. The art style, I don't normally go for cutesy, but it's nice enough. I do love the witch labyrinth, Terry Gilliam acid trip. I really do enjoy that. It's kind of fun. It's cool. The characters themselves, it's a first episode. We're not going to get a whole lot out of them, other than introduction things. I will say, hey, it's nice to not have a show that's like, hi, I'm this person. I'm this many years old. This is my family.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I really didn't realize that was going to be such a staple of the genre.
I mean, she kind of did a little bit of exposition.
Yeah, I mean a little bit.
A little bit of exposition, but she didn't go into full narration mode by telling us who these people are.
This is my dad, and he's blah, 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 blah.
Oh, look at all these tomatoes.
This is my dad. I've never seen him leave the house.
Wow.
Your mother doesn't let me leave.
Are we sure the
He's
mom
chained up in the basement!
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think it's a serviceable first episode. It does have that cutesy sort of demeanor, but also with the witches and stuff, and especially the cold open of the whole thing, it does foreshadow a lot of much darker things that I think we all at this point know come later. But I think at this point you can kind of like you guys did that first time we watched it, look past it and look at the cute little magical girls and stuff. And that cat's definitely not evil. But
oh yeah, no, that cold open. I completely forgot it opened on Walpurgis Knots.
Oh yeah. They have to start with something to actually hook. Honestly, that's kind of the main whole plot hook is okay, what is this that leads up to this? And what's going to be the journey that we get there? And I think that is a good hook. I don't know, again, some people have said episode 3. Yes, episode 3. Overall, I give this a light yay because the music's good. I enjoy the art style enough, and I don't think it does a whole lot that's that I was going I don't like this. So yeah, light yay.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for me to separate the first episode from the rest of Madoka Magica, especially because I've seen this series 2 or 3 times, and the first episode is quite different from the rest. I watched this show originally back in high school, and I think I had watched it after the first couple of episodes premiered, so I already had heard that it got darker, and that's probably why I was interested in it, because I was like, oh, it's a twist on magical girl shows, and I found that more interesting, I guess. And so I already kind of expected going into it that that's what was going to happen. So I was never really shocked or anything. Unfortunately, I didn't get that experience of it that a lot of other people had where they were surprised when it took that turn. Though I do think episode 3 did a good job of that, but I can't think about episode 3 or any of the rest of the episodes when I'm thinking about this week. So it's difficult, but I don't really like the animation of Madoka Magica. If there's one critique I have for it, I think the animation is pretty ugly, except for the witch labyrinths, which I think are amazing. I really like how they're designed and the animation that went into that. But I do think the rest is really weird looking, and I think everybody looks kind of ugly. But their designs are really nice, though. I like their magical girl outfits and stuff. I just think, I don't know what's with the animation, but it's kind of weird.
Can I kind of bounce off of that really quick?
Mm-hmm.
Character designs were actually done by a woman who works in magical girl anime industry, so
they were good. She did a good job. Yeah, the magical girl outfits and stuff really nice. The animation itself not so nice, but the labyrinths are nice. Whoever designed those also did a good job. And yeah, the dub was kind of weird. I watched it originally as a sub, and it's a lot better that way. And I think it did a good job of it being a good magical girl setup overall, but also giving you like a weird eerie feeling that like maybe something's not quite right, because it did set up like the notion of the contracts, and I mean the witches' labyrinths are pretty spooky, so I think even though we haven't gotten to the part where like heads are rolling or anything like that, I think it's still like set up like this is not quite a normal magical girl show, but still like gave us enough cutesy to make it like a shocker later on. So I think it did like a good balance of that to really like set up the rest of the show. So I would say overall I'd give it like I'd give like this first episode, if I'm not thinking about the rest of Madoka Magica at all, I'd give this first episode like a light yay.
Okay. Any other thoughts before we move on to Magical Girl Site?
No.
All right.
I don't have any
Let's
of these.
get it over with.
Let's talk Magical Girl Site. All right. Aya Asagiri's life is straight up horrible. One night, a mysterious website called Magical Girl Site appears on her laptop, promising to give her magical powers. The next day, she finds a magic gun in her shoe locker, and when she is attacked once more by her bullies, she uses the gun, transporting her assailants to a nearby railroad crossing where they are run over. Unable to handle the fact that she murdered 2 of her classmates, Aya desperately tries to understand the situation. However, when she finds herself in trouble again, she's saved by Suyuno Yatsumura, a classmate who can use magic to stop time. Now the duo not only has to fight against other magical girls, but they also need to uncover the truth behind the website and the apocalyptic event known as the Tempest. Envy, I believe we're starting with you.
Yes. Congratulations, Al and CC. Garzy's Wing and Dokuro-chan are not my least favorite things I've ever seen on this channel.
Hold up.
There you go.
Hold up.
Why was Garzy's Wing on there?
Yeah, why didn't you like Garzy's Wing? That show was hilarious.
I did not like it at all. Literally. Oh wait, I wasn't there for that. Was I not there for that review? Or I think I was there.
It's been a while ago. I can't remember all of these fucking episodes.
Oh yeah, I hated every moment. Like I didn't like the dub at all, and I thought it was cringe. But anyway, we're not talking about Garzy's Wing. Anyway, yeah, this show. Look,
I am shook.
I don't look. I don't mind dark. I've seen shows that are dark. I could even tolerate edgy. I've seen shows that I love that have edgy. And even the dreaded Grape, I've seen shows that have had that in it. That being said, I do have a limit. I do have a point where something is too cruel and mean-spirited for its own good. And this show is the definition of that. Could people like this exist in real life for bullies? Yes, absolutely. I have no doubt that stuff that this girl went through may have happened to people in real life. Does that mean I want to watch 23 straight minutes of a girl suffering for no good reason? No. And the whole thing of, oh, she becomes sort of a magical girl from a magical gun from a magical website. Okay, that was like 30 seconds of the actual episode. And the rest of it is just torture porn. Like, I don't want to watch that. Like, this poor girl, and people are going to say, well, that's the whole point. But it's like, okay, well, I don't want to watch that. Like, it was bad. Like, I don't want to watch that. Like, again, there could be elements of bullying, sexual assault, and other kind of stuff in shows that I've loved before, but there's a taste to it. And to me, this did not do that at all. This is probably the hardest nay I've given anything on this podcast.
I'm hurt by the Garzy's Wing thing. That's all I'm thinking about.
Okay, yeah. My notes on this were, this is just trauma porn. I swear to God, if they kill the cat as a catalyst, oh, this isn't just trauma porn, this is traumatic porn. Like, they're not just reveling in her trauma, they're, like, specifically getting off to it. And they fucking killed the cat as character development. I mean, I don't remember what some of my notes mean.
I don't know what ESH means either. but you have "those aren't balloons" written under it.
We'll get there. This show is just about a school shooter, but make it a magical girl. Yeah, and the ending, sitting there like, oh, balloons. Oh, those are not balloons.
Oh yeah, no. One of my notes is also, what's with the sperm and the ED?
Right.
Oh,
What was the
God.
sperm?
I blocked that out.
I was so confused.
It was like balloons? Did Pennywise show up and I didn't see it?
No.
Sperm and EDs, those don't go together. ESH, what does ESH mean?
Oh, that got me. That
Thank
was
you.
good.
That's a good. There you go. Flamey-o.
I really don't know what I meant by ESH. That is going to bother me. But yeah, this show sucked. They just threw everything they had at this child, and you don't see a lot of it. Instead, you just see the shots of her looking up with big teary eyes, like, oh, please stop. Like, this is fetish content about making little girls suffer. Is there anything good about this? I would have given it one redeeming point. In the end of the episode, she shoots the bullies, the one who killed her cat at the train station.
Mm-hmm.
She shoots them with her magical girl gun, which is kind of cute. It's heart-shaped. And they basically went through the same thing the cat went through. They both get hit by a train and die. And I was like, okay, if they did that and then bring the cat back, like swap one life for the other, I would have given it like half a point. But I don't know if that happens later, but in this episode, it still seemed like the cat was still dead. So just flush the whole thing down the toilet. This is the hardest nay.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here with how we're judging this. This is one of those ones where when we started watching it, I didn't recognize it, and I didn't recognize the name, but I had seen bits and pieces of this before. And can we be real? Can we be real? It's not moving on, right?
No.
Can we wait till we get to the judgment section? We know it'll be short,
No.
but it's tradition.
No. So, I started out with like, oh wow, this is a perfect example of torture porn, no thanks. Then they introduced the brother, and it clicked for me, and I realized what this is. This specifically, the brother is the antagonist. He steals one of the magical girls', like, they call them sticks. Haha.
I think that's just the Japanese word for wand, because that's been happening in every show so far.
Sugar Rune did
Yeah.
that. Stick!
But it's specifically one that has the ability to mind control people. He kidnaps some of the magical girls, he tortures the magical girls, he rapes the magical girls, and he gets forgiven at the end of it.
Oh, God.
I'm a hard fucking pass. This man ends up on every single top 10 most deserved anime revenge moments.
So there is a revenge moment.
There
That's
is
at
a
least
revenge
something.
moment, but she undoes it and
Oh.
forgives him.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't have to tell me that.
Wow.
This is 100% fetish content, and I think Gav was the one who recommended this. And I'm just like, what? How
I gotta
did you
be really
watch
sure.
that and you were like, yeah.
We've had this discussion off the podcast a couple times. At a certain point, because there's not nearly as many magical girl shows as you think that are not like sequels and stuff like that. At a certain point, we were kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, getting like the last 2 or 3 shows in, and sometimes it was just like, does it have the word magical girl in it? Put it in.
I know, but I just... Oh my god, I remember Gav being like, oh guys, just wait. Like, this is not like a... I was talking about like the another in the Madoka moments where like, just wait until it goes south. This was like a full-on, why would you want anyone to watch this? Like, this shouldn't exist.
Wait a minute. What if this is their Dokuro-chan?
I watched this, so you all must suffer.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I can't put it past anyone.
But yeah, I'm hard day. Don't watch this. Don't give the creators anything. Don't talk about this. Let's just strike it from our collective memory.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what's not been said. All right, notes say, depressing out the gate. This girl is literally in hell. Oh, Ursula got into web design. Did anyone else feel that a little bit? Little Mermaid, Ursula got into web design? I thought it sounded like her.
Oh,
when it was the
yeah.
song.
Really? I did have something else.
Okay, go ahead.
That was the red light, green light girl from Squid Game.
Oh, what?
Okay. Well, hey, that's fun.
That was fun.
At least she's getting work. They killed the cat. John Wick Retaliation is a go. Here's the real thing that I think that I can say about this. I is a fucking saint, because I feel like had she teleported them onto the railroad tracks and saw what she did, absolutely none of us would have blamed her if suddenly, like, the lighting changed and a very ominous chorus started playing and she went full Death Note on everybody. Because let's be real here.
It's there.
It's nowhere near as strong as the Death Note, because you actually have to shoot people with it. But, like, genuinely, I feel like she could have easily gone, like, full, I will cleanse this world.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us would have been like, you're in the wrong. Like, no. By all means. But, yeah. Nay? Especially, like, it was already there. But it's like, then you had to tell me the other things on top of it. It's like...
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Didn't think that was...
So, like,
I thought it was going to be maybe she crawls her way out of hell. That could have been... But nope, it's going to stay back. Like, I'm going to throw this out there, because this is going to come up a little bit with some of these other shows a little bit. Madoka came out in 2010. This one came out, I forget. But the other 3 shows in this category all came out post Madoka. I feel like all of them are trying to be Madoka on some level.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely.
Madoka came out in 2011. This came out 2018 or 19, because my friend from high school saw it.
Yeah, I feel like on some level, everyone's trying to be Madoka, but not be. They have to be a little bit different. And this was like, hey, you know how Madoka, like, gets depressing as it keeps going? Let's just, like, all at once. And it's like...
Right out the gate.
Okay. I don't want to continue.
Yeah, no. And, like, I know we were supposed to separate just based on the first episode, but, like, knowing how much worse it gets, like, I feel like it at least needs to be, like, a trigger warning.
Yeah, I'll say this. To some degree, if something is this, like, much of a problem for you, I don't think there's any issue in looking ahead to try to be like, well, how bad is it going to get? So you're getting no complaints from me that you did that. So nay, for me. Yin? Any original thoughts outside of what we've said?
I mean, yeah, I have to second pretty much everything. It was definitely one of the worst things I've ever seen. I just feel like there wasn't even like a ray of hope in any of this. It was just like the most depressing and hopeless, like, life that you could imagine for a person. And I just, aside from them getting off on her, like, sadness, I can't think of any other... I don't know why somebody would write something like this. Like, it's just, like, the most sadistic author. I don't know. Like, just horrible.
And that's saying something, because the last one was from Generabuchi.
Right. But it's like, I felt like there was, like, I don't know. Like, it's just, this one, there feels like there's no purpose to any... Like, it's just all horrible. And I just feel like the only way that this could improve itself would be if it's about, like, her killing all of her torturers and, like, just getting a nice life somehow. Like you said, like, crawling her way out of hell. That's the only, like, thing that I could see that could make this better. Like, she's got to kill the brother. She's got to kill, like, a lot of people right now. And then, like, I don't know, find some, like, happiness in her life. But clearly that doesn't happen. So
I think I just realized we're pitching Kill Bill Magical Girl.
Yeah, I think all it could be would be her using her magical girl, like, powers to somehow, like, have a happy life. But that's not how this goes. So I'm just like, there's nothing that could save it.
I will say technically it has a happy ending.
Oh?
Like, no. So technically, she resets the world.
Oh.
And everyone's like flowers and rainbows after she resets it. So she doesn't get tortured anymore. So she's happy and she's forgiven everyone.
I don't know if I like that.
May I reiterate my point of everyone's trying to be Madoka?
And, like, it doesn't really work because, like, then it just negates, like, people who have suffered instead of, like, showing how, I don't know. It's just, like...
Yeah, like, Madoka's reset was about saving all of the other magical girls who were taken advantage of. And this is redeeming the abusers.
Right, like, that's just, like... I don't, that doesn't seem like a good reset. I don't know. It's just like, so then, like, your brother and your bullies and stuff, now they can live happy lives too. I don't know. I don't like it. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So, yeah, hard nay. There's nothing good about this. I can't think of a single thing that I liked about this, and it stressed me out watching this. Like, every single scene, it just got worse. Now the cat's dead. Now this person's assaulting her. Like, I could not continue this. Like, if this somehow moved on, I think I would leave. Like, I mean, like, I can't keep watching this, so it's a nay.
So, I'm gonna start off with the note that I'd already sort of said for Madoka. So I started with Madoka first. Not Madoka first. I started with this first. Because I had read a couple pages of the manga, so I already sort of knew what to expect. And with those couple pages of the manga, I did not finish it at all. I was, like, so put off. And I was just like, ugh. So, and honestly, this was, like, just, I'm gonna be rehashing a lot of what everyone else has said, but this was so hard to watch. I was, like, partly skipping through scenes because I'm like, I don't want to watch this. And this was just... again, I'm not going to rehash everything that everyone else has already said. I fucking hated this. Like, why was this allowed to be made? Like, someone should have just took the creator, threw them in a jail cell, and said, no. Like, jail time for you. Get out. So... yeah, this is hard nay. Why?
All right, let's make this quick. Envy?
Madoka.
Oh, I'm not used to being so high up in the order. Madoka. Madoka's lucky that Magical Girl Society is so shitty.
Yeah, I'm also Madoka. I have a feeling Madoka's an easy advance through this bracket.
Madoka!
Madoka!
All right, that was quick. Madoka moves on. Let's just get into the next one. Let's just move on. Yuki Yuna is a hero versus Magical Girl Raising Project. Let us start with Yuki Yuna. Yuki Yuna is in her middle school's hero club, where she does her best to help others and bring a smile to everyone's face. But Yuki is about to become an even bigger hero. Mysterious destructive forces called Vertexes begin threatening the world she loves, and the hero club is called upon by a strange phone app to save it. Along with her best friend, Momori Togo. Sorry, starting. Togo. God, why are there U's in there?
There you go.
And sisters Fu and Itsuki Inubozaki. They must transform into magical girls in order to fight the Vertexes. In between studying and putting on shows for kids, Yuki and the Hero Club must fight for the very existence of their world and face the harsh truths behind their own powers, all while discovering what it truly means to be a hero. Cece, hey, you were talking about being high up in the order, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you start us off?
Alright, my notes for this one is, I'm loving the vibes. I'm scared to see why this one is in this category. Which, Papa Xanax, I feel like it's Papa Zoloft.
I don't know the difference. It's
Papa
also
Prozac.
Prozac.
It's Papa Prozac now.
Yeah.
Isn't Prozac also an anti-anxiety?
Antidepressant. That's why I had to change
Yeah,
it.
they double over.
Okay. Alright, that's fair then. It felt kind of like Animael, the cheerleading show that I really liked. Like, the one good suggestion I made on this podcast.
Oh, come on. You had to... Nope, that was it.
It just, like, how they're just, like, a couple of girls will, like, want to do good and help people out where they can. So I was really vibing on it, and then we got a panty shot right at the end. I'm like, well, I had high hopes.
Not just a panty shot, multiple.
Multiple?
Multiple.
No. I wasn't paying attention. I only caught the one.
No, they did it to the little sister too.
Oh, even worse. Yeah, I guess I'm giving it a meh. I would love to see where this one goes. I just wish it wasn't so pervy. They really let me down right at the end.
Okay, never heard of this one before. The opening gave me, like, really high hopes. Like, for the first, 15 minutes, you know, it felt very realistic. There was nothing really much going on. It was cutesy. They did have a moment where, when the vortex appeared, it started leaking gay water everywhere. I'm like, the real gay agenda! Their school uniforms, I had initially wrote fashion with a question mark, which was quickly followed after the transformations of not fashion, those outfits are fugly. And then we got the panty shots, and I have filled up an entire line just saying why. Also, the voice acting in this felt so lifeless. That motivational monologue she was having at the end, I'm like, I feel nothing. It was having such a good time, but it just based off of what I've seen, the category that this is in, I don't think I want to continue this, so it's a meh to a late nay for me.
So I will say it's in this category because Gab told me it should be in this category. So I don't know for sure, but I do.
It probably gets depressing more on.
Yeah.
I kind of was like watching. I was like, this feels very cheerful, like deceptively cheerful. You know what I mean? I do like that the world ended in a nuclear rainbow. That was kind of fun. I like the overall club's mission statement. Hey, let's just be good people and do good things. This feels like what you guys were saying for a lot of other weeks was like, this is what good magical girls should be. I feel like there's a lot of stuff with Japanese folklore elements that I'm not aware of. So I'm a little bit lost on some of the, this is this thing. Oh, we already know what that is? Well, I don't. So, yeah, but maybe it'll be explained. So I'm not really docking points for that. I thought the art and animation was pretty good for the most part. I do like how she how she transformed the first time. Yuki, not so much the other two. The other two were kind of whatever. But I like how she's I will punch it, and then I'll have part of my armor, and then I'll punch it again. And that was kind of fun. I like that. I don't remember a motivational speech, but that might be to its... Maybe it just wasn't very good.
While she's doing the punching.
I think I was just more concerned about the punching that I thought was cool. But yeah, seems nice. Probably is going to get a little bit dark, but yeah, I mean, overall, I'm a light yay here. I don't think we have a whole lot of magical girl isekai stuff. It doesn't seem like the worst thing. I could be wrong, but for now, I'm a light yay.
Oh, I forgot. One of the girls is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Ooh, disabled magical girl.
Yeah.
Cool representation.
We kind of had that in Black Rock Shooter back in the day, but also wasn't she evil? I can't remember.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
It's from my yeah.
We've watched so many things.
Yeah. Yin, what are your thoughts?
So, maybe I'm in the minority, but I really didn't like the beginning of this. I don't know. I found everyone obnoxious, and I thought their whole club was obnoxious. I don't know. I just was not having a good time.
Damn you altruists.
It was just so annoying and fakey to me. I don't know. I didn't like it. Why are you all so happy? I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe it's because I just saw the other girl's really sad life, and I was not feeling good about the world. I don't know.
This is a lot to watch all 8 of these episodes all back to back.
Whiplash. I'm not sure.
This is why you guys need to watch them 2 at a time.
Yeah. Either way, I don't know. I was a little annoyed. I didn't really like these characters very much. I guess they were fine, but there was nobody I really liked. Especially the main girl, I thought was a little too cheery and annoying.
How dare you be cheery? Aya is suffering.
Aya's suffering right now. Yeah, and then once they got to, I don't know, the magical realm or wherever they are, I don't know, it kind of went even more downhill for me. I just, I guess the sister is already, aware of all this. I guess she's, already a magical girl or something, and now everybody else is too. So there's like some like, I don't know, like it could have the potential to get more interesting. I don't know where the darkness is going to come from or what twist it's going to take. But I don't know that I really care to find out. So I don't know. I'm kind of nay on this. I didn't really enjoy it.
So I've only really like heard of people like mention this show. Normally, like I'm like, oh, like they kind of mention it like in the same like vein as like Madoka, in that it's like a magical girl show that gets, again, like it has like a darker tone, which for the beginning of this, like this seems like pretty happy, if like a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit like stale. It does a good job at establishing the characters and their dynamics with each other and sort of like getting the setup going. But there's a bit of a tonal shift after Fu, the club president, gets that email basically saying that like the scores have come in and like they're all doing really well. Because you can kind of see like her face shift and she seems like kind of worried. And then we get like the whole bit where the Vertex shows up and she's like, pull out your phone. There's an application on it that I had you sign up for after you joined the club. Because this club was essentially like, hey, if these things ever show up, we're the people who gotta stop it if we get high enough scores. So we gotta, you know, do the thing. And I don't think anybody else in this club was aware of this.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot about that. That is such a weird plot point.
Which I'm thinking that's probably part of the darker tone, is that these girls have been signed up basically to be protectors of the world, and they were unaware that this is now their job.
I know, but could you imagine, like, yeah, you're gonna save the world. What qualifies me? Oh, you did really well on your middle school test.
Yes. I'm like, my aptitude test for these? Does this count? But maybe it's like even going through like, maybe it's measuring like the work they're doing for the Hero Club and kind of like using that as a metric as well.
Now,
I'm not
they
really
said
sure.
test scores. They said it was based on test scores. I'm really trying to come up with a joke that has something to do with the American education system and standardized testing.
Wow.
And I'm
Definitely
flawed.
could be like
None of us would be selected.
It definitely could be like a satire about like the Japanese school system. I could see that.
Maybe.
Like test scores and stuff are really important there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that she was like, we've all been selected to be the heroes. As if she wasn't the one that made them download the app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, sweetie, you fucking set them up. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, I want you to imagine this. Had they got those test scores, been transported, and then no one told them about the app, they'd just die.
Well, the thing is like, they had to sign up because the president signed them up through this thing. Like, Taisha is where she got the email from.
Yeah, to be in the club, they had to download the app.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this was a bit slow. Honestly, it kind of was giving me a little bit of Magica record vibes, kind of like with sort of stylistically what was going on with it, and then with the costumes. Overall, I think this is kind of a meh for me, just because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I heard people like sort of like mentioning this as like this was good, but I'm just like, I don't get it. But maybe I would get it later on, but also I'm just like, I don't really care.
Yeah, basically my note was, way to keep your club members out of the loop until the last minute. I do agree with CC. I liked that one of the main characters was in a wheelchair, and presumably she'll become a magical girl in a wheelchair, so that's good representation.
Okay, don't phrase it like that. I like that she's in a wheelchair.
Things out of context. Things set out of context.
What if
that'll
she's
happen
like
later?
What if she's like Ricardo Montalban in Spy Kids 3?
Cece, is that going on your phone list of the
No,
weird
it
out of
is now.
context posts?
I mean, I guess overall, I didn't mind the beginning part of the episode where they were happy-go-lucky club members. When it got to the isekai world or whatever, I thought it was fine. I guess I guess it was. I just kind of felt bad for the other members, scared shitless, and then it's up to the two sisters to try to stop the big magical beast thing from killing them all. I guess I'm a high meh right now.
That's everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see who they're going up against. All right, Magical Girl Raising Project. For many girls in N City, playing the popular RPG Magical Girl Raising Project is as close as they could come to becoming a real magical girl. However, Kayuki Himekawa receives a notification one night that she has been selected to become a real magical girl, her in-game avatar, Snow White. As Kayuki and other chosen players begin helping those in need, they all receive another notification. The admins have decided to reduce the number of magical girls. Whoever collects the least amount of magical candies in their competition each week will lose their powers. But when a real-world tragedy happens to the first player that drops out, they are shown the repercussions of losing their abilities. As more participants inevitably lose the competition and more twisted rules are added, the girls soon realize that their contest is actually a desperate fight for survival. Kozi, you're starting us out.
So, we separated this bracket, or I guess this episode of the podcast, like the homework, we separated it into 2 nights of watching 4 and 4, so like each bracket on its own.
Okay.
And at this point in the night, I literally just wrote, "Fuck you, Al, I'm abstaining." I did also write, "Jeez, man." I don't remember who said it, but it was pretty funny. But like, I am gonna be so real with you. I did not watch Magical Girl Raising Project when it came out. I know you guys did, or at least most of you did, and I feel like you enjoyed it. The art style always threw me off. I didn't want to really touch it. And a lot of the character designs that I had seen, which was mainly Ripple, I was just like, that... I don't care how old she's supposed to be in the show. That looks like a child that they have put in worse than a bikini. And then going through the opening, like, there are so many characters who I didn't know, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And one of them, you said they were called Swim Swim, and I shouldn't judge it because she's in a swim dress and it's not that bad. And then Cece told me she's 7.
Yes, I shouldn't judge it because we haven't gotten that far yet.
I don't care. It was in the opening.
Oh, okay.
They are literally designing these characters to look like children and then sexualizing them. It's so fucking uncomfortable. So, like, I didn't really care about the plot. I didn't really care about anything. Like, I kind of stand on my shit of, like, I don't want to consume media that it has bad intentions. It doesn't matter if it unironically had, like, a good story or anything. It's just uncomfortable, and the more we interact with it, the more stuff like this gets made. Also, that little fucking avatar is such a cheap-ass ripoff of Monokuma, it's not even funny. Like, not an original thought went on in the creators' heads here. So I'm a nay. But, like, I guess a meh to, like, nay, just to keep in line with Yuki Yuna.
So you remember last week where we had, like, some stuff that ended up being like, wow, these are actually really similar, and the bracket just sort of put them like that. The first thing I wrote was another isekai magical girl. That is interesting that they both got paired up together. Sort of weird coincidence.
Wait, how's this an isekai?
How? Yeah.
They're literally playing a game, and then they get the powers in the game.
But they're not in another world.
No, it's a real
almost
world.
an isekai.
No, it's not.
It's almost.
No,
The only thing that I wrote was more phones, and that is the carryover.
Yeah, it's a smartphone. It's based off a smartphone app. That's kind of the similarity.
The game is being isekai'd into the real world.
A magical girl show, but I have my smartphone. Isn't that the name of an actual anime?
But they're not in another world.
Alright, whatever.
That would be, I'm in another world with my smartphone as a magical girl.
I guarantee you that's gonna come out next week.
Wow.
Okay, so, hey, she's a nerd, that's fun. That's 100% QB. Art style's fine. I like that they have themes for costumes. They're not fully original. I mean, that's Kiki, that's a ninja, that's Siegfried from Fate Grand Order, but like, not Fate Grand, no, Fate Apocrypha, but it's like gender bent, but also I guess that's a guy. That's definitely your childhood friend. Hey, that's Ninja Homura. I like that they said, oh, you're the typical type of magical, like, oh, they called you basic. That's kind of funny.
Can-
Ro is definitely
Can
gonna
I
die.
challenge you really quickly on the art style? The magical girl art style is fine, but what the fuck was going on with, like, the regular characters?
I don't remember that well, so maybe you're right on that. I mostly remember the magical girl outfits and stuff, which I'm like, you guys, I can differentiate from all of you. That's pretty nice. Like, everyone seems to have their own theme and probably, like, style of fighting or, like, doing good stuff. They're not necessarily fighting right away, but I know that it's coming, because I think I've heard this described as Hunger Games, basically.
Yeah.
Have not
Yeah.
watched.
Battle Royale.
It's like Battle Royale.
You know what?
Either
I like
or.
Battle Royale better. We'll go with that one. Yeah, I feel like her friend is definitely the first to go. Don't spoil it for me. I don't
Okay.
want to know just yet, but, like, I'm just calling it right now. He is death flagging so hard. She is death flagging so hard. It's hard to say. I'm not sure. I don't think. Did they specifically say what they're going with?
Like for pronouns?
Yeah.
Yeah, so La Pucelle does end up on, like, a lot of, like, queer representation lists, so I would assume it's she.
Okay, I'll go with
At
she.
the very least,
You know what?
it's she in avatar form.
I'm gonna go with they.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
I
they
don't
just to be safe.
remember.
But they are definitely gonna die. They are death flagging so hard. But it could be interesting. I'll give it a light yay.
So I do remember watching this in Anime Club. I don't remember much about the later part of the show for some reason, which is probably good because then I can judge it more on the first episode. I don't even remember if we watched the whole thing in Anime Club or not. Do you guys know? I don't remember.
It's like a 12 to 13 episode first season, so I would say that you guys probably did. I wasn't there that much that year, so...
We did.
We did watch the whole thing? Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the ending that well, but I do remember it went into, like, full, like, Battle Royale stuff, which was kind of interesting. They had some fun fights and things like that. But yeah, I had similar thoughts as Al. I think, like, the magical girls all are very differentiated, which is good. Like, they all have, like, their distinct looks and stuff. I thought that, you know, the phone app thing is kind of a fun setup. I think there are a lot of parts of it that are kind of Madoka ripoffs. Like, I mean, the bear or whatever was, I mean, you know, it's basically Kyubey. We know it's tricking her, but it's like a cute little avatar and stuff. I do feel like it's one of those shows that came out as a result of Madoka and Madoka's popularity. So it has a lot of things that don't feel very original about it. But I think, like, I guess I like the concept of the magical girl battle royale. And I do think that some of the characters are pretty interesting. I do like La Pucelle's, you know, like, you know, she grew up as, like, a little boy who loved magical girls and, like, maybe transgender representation. I don't quite remember whether or not that was true, but if so, awesome. You know, love to see it. But even if it's just, you know, a little boy who wanted to be a magical girl, that's also cool. So I like it either way. I think La Pucelle is a really good character. From what I remember, but I also don't remember much about the later part of the series, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think the first episode was pretty good. I would give it like a light yay as well.
So, I wasn't really like in, like, because I had class the semester that this was airing, so I was not able to attend Anime Club, but I did watch it on my own, just because I knew, one, that Anime Club was watching it, and two, like, I had heard that it was, like, another, like, more Madoka-esque magical girl show, so I was like, okay, I'll sit down and watch this. My notes are, more phones! It establishes the mechanics of sort of, like, the game and how their magical powers work, and the characters, and I generally like the characters, at least for these first couple episodes, with the ones that we get introduced to, and then we have, like, the post-credits scene, which really, like, sets the stakes for how things are gonna go from here on out. And so this first episode, like, seems fairly normal, and it's really that post-credit scene that kind of sets, like, maybe that there's, like, a more sinister tone. And I don't know, generally I like this show. There are definitely a lot of bits where I'm just like, what? But overall, I would say for me that this is, like, a light yay.
Yeah, I remember when this came out in October 2016. The only reason why I know that, it was one of the few times in our club we were watching the show as it was airing. So I thought that was interesting. So it aired and then we would watch it. Yeah, I like this show. I mean, it's kind of hard for me, like Madoka, to separate this episode from the rest of the show, because I did watch the whole thing, and I did enjoy, the twists and turns with the show. But as the first episode is concerned, it's kind of like Madoka too, where it feels like it's innocent, and then it sets up with the cliffhanger. Hey, things are about to go bad. And once it goes bad, it does not stop. I will say that. I also did kind of like that it's based on a smartphone. And I know the light novel for this came out like 2012, so it could not have predicted this. But like, keep in mind what happened in summer 2016 when Pokemon Go was the biggest thing in the world. So you had a smartphone app that took over the world, and then you had a smartphone app that turned people into magical girls and become something worse later on. So I kind of made the joke of, oh boy, Pokemon Go is gonna kill everyone. But yeah, it's a light yay for me.
I think it would have been totally fucking awesome if we had all become real Pokemon trainers.
Yeah, I mean, comparatively speaking, yeah.
You say that, but then a giant Charizard comes out and lights fire to everybody.
And then you throw 50 Pokeballs at it, and you get it. You get the Charizard. Now you have the power. And now the Death Note choir starts playing.
Oh, wait. If we don't have gym badges, will they listen to us?
Good question. I don't know how we would find out.
This is one I did watch while it was airing. I think at this point I had dropped out of school, so it was not with everybody. I watched this on my own. And I do remember liking it at the time. My notes for this one were, oh wait, I forgot there were real monsters. This in the beginning.
Lint monsters.
Shows them, like, fighting the lint monsters. I forgot they were actually doing things as magical girls before they start killing each other. Her the keychain she has of the magical girl on her bag, Kozi was like, is that Barbara? I'm like, oh my god, it's Barbara!
Yeah.
I forgot about Sota. The minute he popped up, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about you! I love you! And I can't believe that we didn't hit the beat drop. We didn't get to, the story yet. The art style is weird. They do all kind of look like toddlers. I don't know if I would quite qualify it as bug eyes, but their facial proportions are normally how you would draw a child's.
So not biblically accurate?
Yeah.
I feel like we brought that up a lot, but I feel like we didn't bring it up yet last week as much. I might be wrong.
I feel like maybe they're trying to look like Madoka and it didn't quite work, but I feel like it's trying to be Madoka. I don't know.
Yeah, Madoka's not biblically accurate magical girls, but it is biblically accurate witches.
But they have those wide faces. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Madoka had better facial proportions. These guys, they're supposed to be, even the adults, they all still are drawn like children.
CC, you know what it kind of reminded me of? Do you remember Toy Story? Sid's house, the spider baby?
Yeah, they all kind of look like that, but with hair and not spider legs.
True.
I do like how each magical girl has their own thing and correlating powers. I feel like that's different. It's not everybody is just power of love and friendship and we're each just a different color. There's a little more nuance in this one.
Or it's all elemental based.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Not my favorite show, but it was certainly interesting. It's a light yay for me.
Alright then, Kozi, why don't you lead us off? Yuki Yuna is a hero versus Magical Girl Racing Project.
So I already told you, I am abstaining. If I could have a say, I had a bad enough time with these 4 episodes. I wish we could just strike this bracket altogether.
So my vote's Magical Girl Racing Project.
Magical Girl Racing Project.
Same.
Raising Project.
Same.
Okay, well that's moving on then. Alrighty then. Why don't we talk about something that's near and dear to my heart? Power Rangers. And what are things that are basically Power Rangers, which I'm going to be real, is very reductive and not an entirely good thing. But this was the few times that I was like, okay, I can include Power Rangers somewhere. All right, we have like color coordinated teams.
They're basically magical girls.
I mean, that's what Power Rangers are. They were like, instead of magic, most of the time, it's technology.
They were the magical girls for boys.
Yeah, it's magical girls with mecha,
Mm-hmm.
which is grand blem. Blem.
Also,
Blem.
lots of punching.
Yeah, some magical girls punch. It happens. Anyway, so almost Power Rangers, or basically Power Rangers, I forget what the thing is on the title card. We have Sailor Moon versus Eternal Alice, and Magic Knight RayEarth versus Tokyo Mew Mew. Alright, our first one up, Sailor Moon. Usagi Tsukino is an average student and crybaby klutz who constantly scores low on her tests. Her life is turned upside down when she saves a cat with a crescent moon on its head. The cat named Luna reveals that Usagi is destined to become Sailor Moon, a planetary guardian with the power to protect the Earth. Given a special brooch that allows her to transform, she must use her new powers to save the city from evil energy-stealing monsters sent by the malevolent Queen Beryl. But getting accustomed to her powers and fighting villains are not the only thing she has to worry about. She must find the lost princess of the Moon Kingdom, the other Sailor Guardians, and the legendary Silver Crystal in order to save the planet from destruction. How appropriate that I'm the one leading us off in our basically Power Rangers category.
Wow.
Alright, so Sailor Moon. Classic anime style. I am a fan of classic anime style. Friend's mom is a demon or possessed by a demon. That's fun out the gate. It raised a lot of questions for me until I think she got unpossessed or something.
She wasn't possessed. She's tied up in the basement.
Oh, okay, right. Because I was about to be like, does that mean your friend is also part demon or something? It feels like a whole other plot they could have had there. But never mind. It doesn't matter. I like the idea of using everyday vices and kind of just things to exploit people's, I think this is a good concept for, doing things. Gives a lot of opportunities for, episode concepts and that. Usagi's annoying. I don't really have much of a way to describe it other than she's just kind of annoying. I thought that's a pretty scary monster for a kid's show. The whole head turned thing and everything. I was like, oh my god. This is for I don't know how old kids were when they were watching this, but it was like, ooh, that's
I was 2, and this is actually pretty accurate to how they do it in the manga as well. So.
I'm going to throw out there, I am a fan of media that lightly scares children. I do think kids should watch the dark Don Bluth movies, Secret of Nim and stuff like that. So I'm 100% on board with evil zombie mom turning her head 360 and all that sort of thing in your kid show. It's fantastic. Then I went, oh god, being annoying is her superpower. She cries and destroys something, and I'm like, oh dear. I'm not sure if this is the exact frame from the show, but I did see but you didn't do anything.
No,
I did love
that's
that.
Later.
Yep.
That's later.
He's just always that way.
I feel like that's his constant move, though. Cape flourish, and I'm out.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. I found the episode a little bit boring, but I can also see the makings of what made this a classic in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm overall kind of meh about it, but I can see a lot of potential here.
I had so much fun with this. I did watch some Sailor Moon as a kid, and I don't know if it's the nostalgia getting to me, but I really enjoyed watching this. It kind of made me feel like I just want to watch all of Sailor Moon. I don't know, maybe I will. Maybe I'll keep watching this.
You got plenty to go around.
There's a lot of it, and I have never seen the later stuff, and I only saw when you're a kid, you see bits and pieces of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you don't really watch anything in order, so there's no way I've seen all of this show, and I have no idea what comes later.
That's why they primarily work when they're episodic.
Yeah, but I just watched random episodes, and I remember enjoying it as a kid. I couldn't tell you what happens or anything because I was so small, but I don't know. It gave me a good feeling to watch this episode. Probably the nostalgia, but I don't know. I had fun. I thought the little monster of the week was fun, like what Al was saying. I did not find Usagi annoying. I liked her. I thought she was just a quirky, fun girl, She's just a girl. I liked the cat, except the voice. I don't know. I'm not crazy about the cat's voice. It probably sounds different in Japanese. Maybe I'd like that better. But I liked the cat itself. It was not an annoying mascot to me. the tuxedo mask came in and did nothing, so that's to be expected of him. But yeah, I liked it a lot. And like I said, it might be nostalgic coloring like how I feel, but I had a good time, so I'll give it like a light yay.
So this is a newer dub than what I remember seeing on television as a child.
Again, god damn it.
Well, so the original dub was from Deke, and I don't know if they've scrubbed that from the internet as well.
It was a very localized dub.
It was. Like, they replaced all the character names. Usagi is now Serena.
Oh god, you're
Ami,
right.
who is Mercury, is now Amy. They changed all of their fucking names.
I was wondering because I distinctly remember hearing stuff about, like, I might have even seen it whenever it was on TV, of the theme song is in English for that dub.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
this one was not.
And it's a bop.
And I was about
It
to
is
be
good.
like, I mean,
It's
it's
quite
basically
good.
a direct translation or something. Or they just redubbed it.
They redubbed it, but I would say it's like actually a pretty good redubbing of a song, to be fair.
So were they the ones who made those girls into cousins?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes, that was from that specific dub. Also, Luna's voice was better in that dub.
Okay.
So
That would
I
be
will say that
so
she
real.
sounded more like a mom
Yeah.
in that dub, which I was like, that is preferable over whatever this is, because I don't know, the tone just doesn't fit. Because I always pictured Luna like just scolding her and sounding like a mother.
Do I need to try go looking for the other dub if this moves on?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
I'm hearing
No,
one
I'm
yes. I'm
saying
hearing a
yes.
yes. Okay.
You say yes? I mean, I would prefer it because I might actually like the voices a bit better.
I'll do what I can if this moves on.
But that's me. I love the classic art style. This art style for this anime does not match the manga, but here's the thing, I prefer this particular anime art style over the manga, but that is just me. I don't know, for whatever reason, like, the line work just does not work for me. I found it really funny that, like, as soon as Usagi saves Luna and takes off the bandage, that suddenly Luna's demeanor gets all, I guess, like, kind of sinister, because she's just staring at her, and I'm just like, oh no. Like, that is the point where you run away from that cat. But, I don't know, I found it kind of funny. The very monotone no that just came out of Beryl's ball, like, crystal ball, when she's, like, trying to, like, talk and do the things. I found that exceedingly funny. And then there's the part where everyone is in the jewelry store and they're all going crazy over the jewelry. I think that is my note for everyone loves shiny things, because basically they're all going really crazy over this one diamond ring. And then, of course, Tuxedo Mask shows up and does absolutely fucking nothing. And
Hey,
what
he threw a
saves the
flower.
day is...
Which was maybe
Yes.
distracting?
Maybe, but it did nothing. What actually did something was...
he told her to stop crying, which made her cry more.
Yeah.
And crying is her
my next-
superpower, apparently.
My next note was like, Luna's like, throw your tiara. And she's like, and I'm just like, oh my god, will you please just sit up and throw your damn crown, girl? Come on. But yeah, it was like her loud crying just incapacitated everyone. And my whole thing is like, sometimes the crying parts are funny, but I would say it's like, it got to be a little much. So I wasn't really a fan of it. Like, the rest of her parts are, like, fine, where she's just like, oh, I got such a bad score on this test, my mom's gonna kill me. I'm like, girl, like, I feel you. But, I don't know, like, sometimes it got to the point where it was just, like, a little too much. So, and sometimes I think, like, that has put me off of her a little bit, because I'm just kind of like, you know you have these powers, come on! But again, I think that's, like, a little bit harsh to say to a girl who's, like, 13, 14 years old, and then is, just trying to, get through life and doesn't really want to, use magical powers to fight evil and do things, but, that is what it is. I'd give this, like, a light yay for this first episode.
So, obviously, you would have to live under a rock if you've never heard of Sailor Moon before. Like, even if you know nothing of the magical girl genre, you know of Sailor Moon, because it's one of the most popular classical anime out there. It's considered a gateway anime for some people. And of course, I've never seen it until I watched it for this round. But
you've heard of them in that one song from the Bare Naked Ladies.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
But I will say, weirdly enough, watching this after all these years was like me watching Dragon Ball Z for the first time when we did the Shonen Showdown, because both shows are shows that, while not the first in their genre, are the shows that redefine the genre to where when you mention the genre, it's one of the first shows that you think of. So it was like watching like a monumental movie, like a genre-defining movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like watching like a touchstone. There you go. That's the word I want to use. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I kind of hovered back and forth whether or not I found Usagi annoying and charming. I think it was a little bit of both for me. But yeah, I liked it overall. I liked the animation. I liked the style. I had fun with it. Although, I do have to admit, Chibi and Yin, you've seen this show before. Are the rest of the Sailor Scouts pretty much carrying the team? Does Usagi pretty much do nothing most of the time?
She does.
I feel like she
does.
contributes.
Question.
She does.
Is she the Mati of the group? Okay, no Captain Planet fans. Great.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Basically, she's the heart of the team.
Okay,
She's
the
heart of the team that holds them together.
Okay,
is what she is.
You're basically saying yes.
No,
Yes.
she does fight. She does
She
have
does
stuff
fight.
she does.
Okay, it's just her power isn't as interesting as fire, water, earth, any of those
she
things.
is. Her
Lightning,
thing is.
yeah.
It's like Will and
Yeah,
Wish.
she has light,
Oh,
love, and
yeah.
the moon.
Okay.
She's light, love, and the moon. That is what she is.
I just heard the joke for so many years that the rest of the Sailor Scouts were more competent than her, and she was basically useless. So I kind of felt that after this episode, like she basically won by doing nothing, or
Oh
the
my
opposite
god,
of
now
doing
she's
nothing.
Tuxedo Mask.
They were made for each other.
Okay, just
but
so
yeah,
I don't
but
feel
yeah.
weird about it, is he a lot older than her? Because I can't tell.
Yeah.
College
she
aged.
is.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah, it's a
She's
little
in middle
weird.
school?
She said she was like 13 or something. That's like 8th
Yep.
grade?
It's definitely weird.
Uh-huh.
I mean, at least he's not a teacher hooking up with her. Looking at Fruits Basket.
Oh god.
That also occurred in another anime that we watched in this tournament, but not with an actual character.
Oh god. You're making me really not want to watch the rest of this tournament.
But yeah, overall, I like when I watched Dragon Ball Z for the first time, I was like, I get it. I understand why it became the popular juggernaut that it was. It's yay for me.
I love that you know exactly what you wrote and you still pulled the notes to yourself.
They're diligent.
My notes. Classic, exactly what little girls want, 0 notes. Full yay.
Okay, I have also seen this before, and like Cheebs, I watched this in the original localized dub, and my notes are as follows. Where the fuck was the original dub, Al? Who are these people? This dub is really infantilizing Usagi, where she's just supposed to be kind of klutzy and silly, and it's really painful. Can we please get the localized dub? My viewing experience is greatly diminished.
This is the first time I've heard someone say, like, yay, localization.
Yeah, honestly, they did quite a bit with this, aside from a couple of things.
I don't know, like, the characterization feels off, and it really, with the dub that we watched specifically, they just, like, never let it have a moment of silence. She's always making some sort of noise, or someone is talking, and it's like, just let it breathe. She's not actually, like, a baby. She's not as incompetent as they're kind of portraying her through the voice acting. Like, she's lazy, and she's silly, and she is a klutz, but she's not like a I can't do anything.
May I suggest we just watch it in the Japanese?
I'll say this. I if this moves on, because again, we are not at the judging section yet, I will try to find this other dub and like really find it specifically. This was like the first one that I was able to find that I could actually get my hands on. So I will look for the other dub, and if in lieu of that, we will switch to Japanese.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I mean, honestly, if at a certain point, like we're going into these, gonna be next week is gonna be the next round. If I need to find other versions, please let me know now. Please continue.
Okay. Like, I've seen it, like, the Sailor Moon VHS, like, the very first movie, like, that was one of those movies I had and I, like, repeatedly watched over and over and over and over again. So, like, I don't see how Sailor Moon could be anything but a yay for someone who watches it. I do just want to bring up something I saw the other week in the comments. Someone said that I was being too harsh on the Demon Girl Next Door because even Sailor Moon has moments where it like sexualizes or like does revealing stuff to women. And I want to say where, whatever your name is. Yeah, they're pretty girls, but it is not sexualizing anybody. They go out of their way to unsexualize these characters, and it was a huge part of the making process. The creator really cared about these girls not being sexualized. Just wanted to address that really quick.
I can't find it right now, and I don't know how to look for it without ending up on a list, but I saw character sheets of her design, and she wrote in the like margins, no matter how she's moving, how she falls, her panties never show. Her skirt always covers them.
Like, I think this is a really good example of appreciating the female form without making it a sexual object. Like, yes, women are beautiful, and we can show that without being fucking perverted. Anyways, I'm a yay. Just wanted to address that.
Just a thought on like what would be the logistics of making a skirt that you could never see up. Do you think there's like a shorts thing underneath, and using the pleats you're able to connect to the shorts so that you can never actually get that shot?
I mean, it is a leotard. We do see that.
I mean, you can't just wear
helps,
like
but...
a skirt, you know?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that is a thing.
But
It's
like,
her moon magic censoring it.
okay, you know what? We keep forgetting that magic is involved. Of course it works. All right.
Her skirt just has a bunch of coins sewn into the bottom, so it just keeps the skirt down.
Is that how some people do it?
Yep.
Huh. Good to know.
Like, you put weights in them, and it kind of keeps it from, like, blowing in the wind.
That's cool.
Cool. I'm sure some people in the next show will need that. So Eternal Alice.
Yes.
Aruto Kirihara is obsessed with the Alice stories, written in the alternate world by the enigmatic recluse Alternate El Tachyon. One night, while writing his own version of a potential third book, he sees a girl flying in front of a full moon who looks just like the Alice in his imagination. Aruto runs out of his house and chases the flying figure, ending up at a library where he witnesses her in combat with another costume girl. And so begins his sudden introduction to the world of Alices, an elite club of superpowered teenage girls who regularly fight in an extra-dimensional wonderland in order to steal each other's hidden stories. When all the stories have been gathered, they will form the legendary third volume, Eternal Alice, and the possessor will be granted one wish. Yin?
Hey, Al. Before we
Kozi.
start, can I ask how this one got on? Like, where did you find this one?
Mal,
Mal.
with the magical girl tag. I will say it is the lowest rated of every show that we've watched.
All right, for good
Oh,
I can
reason.
see why.
So, okay, I have a lot of problems with this one.
It's
I just like, for one thing, I'm just gonna go over the premise because I felt very confused. So they're all Alice. Like, his sister is an Alice. This girl with the pink hair is an Alice. Like, is that what we're going with? Like,
Oh
all
God,
of these
oh God.
girls?
Yes. Quick thing. You know what? You just said that, and it's like, it reminded me of that one meme from SpongeBob. It's like, he's Squidward, he's
Yeah.
Squidward, he's
I was
Squidward,
about to
you're
bring that
Squidward,
up.
I'm
It
Squidward.
was weird.
Are there any other Squidwards I should know about?
Meow.
That.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, so
Anyway, continue.
I think the whole premise is very, very strange. I know it's based on Alice in Wonderland and everything, so I guess like that's the whole thing. And I guess like they're supposed to like kill other Alices to get their stories. I don't know why exactly. I don't know why they want the stories. I guess they just really want to read. I was very lost. And also, how did this boy get involved with these Alice stories? Like, I feel like that was never answered. Like, does it ever describe how he learned about this?
I think
he's writing the third book.
Okay,
Okay,
so
That's what he's working on.
all right. Here's what I know. The Alice stories are real stories in this world.
Okay.
He's writing fan fiction for a third book. I don't know
he's writing
who
fan
these
fiction.
people are, but apparently there is a real third book. But you have to consume the
They're
life stories of other people to make it.
And everybody knows this?
No, just the Alices. Like that Alice, and that Alice, and that
Then
Alice.
how did he find out?
Because you watched the episode. He saw an Alice and followed her, and then Alice
No,
explained.
but he was writing the book and already knew about the Alice
He
before.
was writing fan fiction.
Fanfiction.
Oh, so he just never knew that this was a real thing.
Until he saw Alice, and then
Okay.
Alice, and then the other Alice.
I don't know. It was stupid. I'm just gonna go with it was stupid. I felt confused the whole time, and I just like, I don't know, man. Just I don't, the whole thing with the girl in the beginning was also super weird. I don't know why they look like when they kill them right between their boobs. It's so ridiculous. I don't. And then they're like, I couldn't. It's really cringe. I'm sorry. Just this whole show is so cringy. I could not deal. The animation and the designs are also super ugly. What is her magical girl outfit? I don't know who like drew this show or who came up with this show or why it exists. It wasn't a manga. I don't know.
Yes, it was.
That's so sad. I cannot imagine watching more than one episode of this like willingly, like not being forced to. I couldn't see anything good about it, to be honest. It was a very irritating show to me, and I dreaded every minute, and it's an A.
Wow. I saw the title Eternal Alice, and I thought, I'm like, oh, is this going to be a magical girl anime with a Wonderland aesthetic? Oh, that's interesting. I'm down for that. And then the first episode happened, and I'm like,
I'm down for that. And then I wasn't down for that.
yes. There are just so many elements that are so weird with this one and just so gross, and I'm just like, why are men like this? But this was also a shonen manga, apparently, that was made in the mid-2000s, so I'm like, you know what, this kind of tracks. And the thing is like, the idea that everyone has an inner story, like, I think that's kind of like a Shugo Chara kind of thing, where it's like, you know, your inner personality sort of thing, and it's kind of like opening that up and whatever. I don't know. I've kind of preferred it if it's like the story was corrupted in some sort of way and you had to fix it. But like the battle sequences, the outfits, just like the everything, like all of the panty shots and like the really pervy things were like, bleh, I want to throw up in a toilet.
Oh, I forgot to mention the little sister, man. She was very obsessed.
Sister. Yes,
don't
and
need
I was
to.
like, and of course the sister has to be weird about her
It
brother.
was so weird.
And I'm just like, and I'm like, honestly, the show just gave me the ick. So this is a hard nay.
Yeah, gotta love a good old siscon. So, my notes for this show were kind of questions like Yin, but more of like ethical questions. Like, so when you lose your story, does that mean you lose your soul? Like, are you
Oh.
dead? Are you
No.
a vegetable? Are you like a
So-
lobotomized person? Or
You're not losing your entire story. They're just taking pages.
They're just
Oh.
ripping them
But
out.
like, why did the girl in the beginning just disappear? What happened?
Did she just go out of like the Wonderland dimension that they created
I have
then?
no clue. It was never explained.
Yeah.
She's
I
not
don't
important
know.
to the plot.
Like,
No.
what?
I think I had a note that said, is she dead? What's
Yeah,
going
is she
on?
dead or alive? Like,
Or is she just walking around without a core memory?
And without the front of her shirt.
Which maybe all might be just as bad. I don't know.
I think it's worse. I think she had the petite death.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think you gotta go full French. Isn't it La Petite Morte?
Yes.
Yeah.
The other question I kind of had, and I apologize, but this question is going to sound graphic. Why is it that whenever you put the keyhole in one of the girls, it sounds like you're hitting the girl's G spot?
Yeah.
Like that's just like that was the other question I had, because like it was like
Le Petite Morte, the little death.
It was so weird.
I did like that Dio was in this show. At least his voice actor was. That was cool. I kind of hope he's the Mad Hatter character of the show. But
was he the guy having tea?
Yes.
All right, then he probably will be.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it like Yin and Chibs, but I was just kind of like confused and kind of weirded out. I guess it's like a low meh to me.
Okay, my notes for this one are, their faces. 3D animation. Perversion. Oh god, it doesn't stop. We're like 2 minutes in. And then I just like stopped paying attention. I could not tell you what this was about.
In just the like avenue of full transparency, one of my streamers was streaming. I'm like, can I put him on in the background so we can just watch that instead?
He was running the whole time, we just had him on mute. And then we got to this one, like after that part, we were like, okay, we're muting the anime and turning the volume up on the stream. Watched it technically. My eyes saw it, my brain did not process it. I refused, could not tell you what happened. All I know is their outfits are fucking ugly. And that's the worst of that's the least of their sins. Hardest nay. Second hardest nay.
Yeah, like we remember the notes from before.
Yeah, so, it's like, this isn't just anti-fashion, it's an attack on my fucking retinas. Like, every single outfit in this is ugly. The art style is ugly. The animation is ugly. I did actually spend, what would you say, like 10 minutes trying to find the exact shade of ugly yellow-green
Their school uniform.
Their school uniform was, and ironically, I did find it. It's called humorous green, and it's fucking ugly. So at the very beginning, I'm like, who is this man, and why is he the focal point in this magical girl show? Holy bug eyes, and there's the panty shots. Elle's Halloween costume had more believable boobs than that one girl.
For context, I literally just stuffed my shirt with 2 balloons.
You had nipples and everything.
Yeah.
Really fucking moment of like, why are there so many pedophiles making magical girl anime? Like, what is this? Why is this such a thing? Like, the whole thing of like, honestly, if you want something Keyblade related, just go watch Kingdom Hearts, but I'm gonna stick my key in your hole and you're gonna go, oh yeah! Like, and then the ripping of the page out of their story rips their outfit off. Like, what the fuck was that? And the entire time they're fighting, they're all constantly like, oh, no, don't do that! It gave me such huge ick. And this is actually where I wrote in my notes, Elle, I think you have lost your recommendation privileges.
I didn't recommend I don't even think I recommended a single one of these shows.
Yeah, I don't think you knew what it was, to be fair to you.
I knew like 3 of these shows going in.
Regardless. I think this is definitely showing us we maybe need to pre-screen some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, hey, come to the thing where I keep saying, hey, guys, can I get some input?
I gave you magical girl animes.
Yes. And did they make it in there?
Most of them.
Yeah. But you didn't tell me about the other ones.
I think we just gotta look up like screenshots. I think we would find out pretty fast that this one's weird.
It wouldn't hurt, but I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
After this tournament, I don't think we're going to be doing another Magical Girls tournament for a while, so kind of a moot point, but we'll see what happens the next time we do a tournament. Am I okay to go?
I don't know. Not yet. But like, once we got to this bracket, I knew everything but the show, so I'm like, oh, it's safe. We can breathe. This is like a refreshing breath of air at Sailor Moon, and then this, I'm like, plunged straight back down into the cold, dark water. I'm like, why am I here? I don't want to be here.
I ask myself
so
that
this
every
is
day.
really, really hard nay for me as well. Now you can go.
Okay. I'm glad you brought up Kingdom Hearts, 'cause I was like, is this what Kingdom Hearts is? I've never played Kingdom Hearts. Bro thinks his OC came to life. Oh, it's gonna be one of those shows. The hell just happened? Is she dead? Is this gonna be a harem show? This is gonna be a harem show, isn't it? I'm as lost as Wonder Bread Boy. I don't like that perverted face he made. Magical Girl Game of Assassin for a third Lewis Carroll novel. Those are all my notes, man. I was like, kind of bouncing around a little bit, like,
It was a weird
huh.
trip.
Like, everybody's got that, like, I know there's like a thing where everyone's like, oh, Jessica Rabbit's so hot, but I'm like, she needs a sandwich. No one should have a 2-inch waist. It's really weird. Like, it bothers me when some people have a character design that's like that, and every person in this is like, you don't have a digestive system. And it's painful to look at in a weird way. It's a weird thing for me. But yeah, it's a nay. I don't know what there was like. Because like on top of not being very like visually appealing, this is confusing as fuck.
It's so weird.
There's a whole element that I think can be part of a show where you can have a level of mystery of not fully understanding what's going on, and I think we've seen a number of shows like that in this tournament. I liked Shakugan no Shana for like the mystery that it was setting up. It's clearly setting up a larger world and a lot of lore and stuff like that you're not going to get out the gate. But I at least understood the basic premise of bad guys come, steal existence, and then deal with it. Versus this is like, what is happening?
I think this episode is just a sign of like poor world building. That's the sense I get.
Big time. Yeah, you know what? It might have been actually written by the guy in the story because he clearly wrote entirely about just this OC that he wanted to bang and didn't put anything else around it. So, I mean, if nothing else, I think this is a yay for representation of novice writing. So, and like, because I gotta be real here. I feel like this it would have been on Wattpad or fanfiction.net or something, and it would not have been a highly rated story.
Probably.
Yeah. You know, this almost just makes me want to have a version of Alice in Wonderland that's just a magical girl anime. Like Alice is a magical girl, but it's the same exact story of Wonderland.
Aren't we getting one? Like a movie?
Okay, yeah, but before that.
I mean, I would argue Pandora Heart's Alice is a magical girl in that.
Hey man, someone should have brought that up to me so we could have used that.
She transforms into a giant rabbit. But yes, I would consider that.
It's not really a magical girl anime.
I do love it though. It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, not the anime. I recommend the manga.
Okay.
Is one show I watched that was I'm gonna need a minute to find this.
All right, you take that minute. Meantime,
Wait. Before we do that, can I just ask, did anyone like figure out, did she have both pigtails and a ponytail? It was bothering me.
I don't know.
Does it really
It
matter?
was weird.
It was hard to tell. You can tell character design was not their forte.
No. Anywho, Yin, you were first. Why don't you vote real quick?
It's Sailor Moon was the other one, right?
Yeah.
Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
A sweep.
Woof.
Everything's been a sweep so far, hasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty much.
We'll see if the last one changes that. So, our final matchup for the night, Magic Knight RayEarth versus Tokyo Mew Mew. We'll start with Magic Knight RayEarth. Hikaru, Umi, and Fu are strangers brought together by fate when they meet during a seemingly normal field trip. During a flash of light, they hear a mysterious woman's plea to save Saphiro, and this junior high heroines are suddenly swept away by a giant flying fish. They arrive in an unknown land where they encounter a man called Master Mage Clef, who informs the girls that they were summoned by Princess Emerald to fulfill their destinies as magic knights. The formerly peaceful land has been in disarray ever since High Priest Zagato imprisoned the princess. The magic knights reluctantly embark on a journey to save Sephiroth from the clutches of evil.
Allie, you did really good with all that pronunciation. I'm
Well,
proud.
most of it's pretty much English, so... Anywho, Chibi, we're starting with you. Tell us your thoughts on Magic Knight RayEarth.
Well, my first thought is, what is this dub?
It's the dub.
Because it's bad. I did not like it. They're mispronouncing everything. Their voices are really stilted, and so is the dialogue. Like, I get that this was like a very early dub, but this wasn't good.
Yeah, 1999 for context.
Oh, not good. I'm sorry. Very not good. Also because Sailor Moon, the first dub came out a lot earlier than that, and it was good.
I won't know
So-
until later.
So yeah, the art style, I didn't mind it too much. Umi looked a bit weird, but the other, like Hikaru and,
Fu?
oh god,
Fu.
Fu? Yeah.
Yeah, Fu.
They were fine. Fu. That's the second Fu we've had in this bracket. Huh, interesting. I adore the chibis quite a bit. I love seeing chibis actually drawn in anime. I just think they're real cute. So Hikaru keeps getting, or Hikaru, I don't know how that name is pronounced. I keep hearing it differently pronounced in different things, so I don't know. But I wrote, I'm like, don't worry, I also get mistaken for being younger than I am because I'm short. This was an actual thing. I remember being around the age of like 15 and also being mistaken for an 11-year-old because I was small. I'm like, bruh, I'm in high school.
I have a question because it's happened to me recently. Have you ever gone to a bar and not been carded?
Yes.
Really? Damn.
Yes. I've been doing that since I was like 17.
No, not you. Chibi.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I'm one of the ones that, like, up until about the age of, I want to say, like, maybe, like, up until, like, maybe about a year or two ago, I was, like, still getting carded.
I'm always
but not
carded.
recently. I think for me, it's more the fact that, like, I think at this point, I do my makeup like someone who is older and not someone who is younger. So I
they
think
look at Cheebs and they're like, that's not Gen Z makeup.
No. I got the wings. I'm clearly a millennial.
There's a liquor store around the corner from where we went to school. And when I was in college, my last year when I was 21, they stopped carding me at that place. They're like, we remember you. Like, maybe I should come here less.
Versus, we went to, was it in Maryland? We went to a liquor store and the woman almost snapped Cece's ID in half, trying to, like, prove it was fake.
Yeah. Like, please don't. I need that to, like, drive.
I think the only really weird time I've ever been carded was at a movie theater. Granted, I'm like 23, 24 years old at this point, and I got carded to see a rated R movie. Which, by the way, you only have to be 17 to be. And I'm like, how do you think I'm here at 10 in the evening right now, like, to see this movie?
That happened to me too with a PG-13 movie.
What the fuck?
Do they even
I'm
card
like,
for
what
that?
13-year-old has an ID?
PG-13 movies are basically PG nowadays.
So I was in high school, and my friends and I went to a movie, and it was PG-13. I was like 17 at the time. Our oldest friend was 18, and they asked my friend who was 18, they're like, how old is she? And they're like, she's 17, she's allowed to see this. And they're like, does she have an ID? They're like, no, she doesn't have a license, but they're all in her grade. The rest of our friend group was all also like in 11th grade, and they're like, yeah, no, she is our age, and they begrudgingly let us through. I'm like, what? And they're like, they probably thought you were like 12. I'm like, I'm not 12.
Damn.
Can I tell you the weird part about getting carded for a rated R movie in my 20s? It was for Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh my god.
Like,
Why?
why? Like,
Why?
a scare, like a horror movie, a rated R action movie with a ton of blood. Okay, sure. A Wes Anderson
Grand
movie?
Budapest Hotel didn't even. Yeah.
Was it just some language?
Yeah.
They said fuck twice. I think that's why they got the R rating. I mean, there's some naked people. Never mind. All of this is to say that you identified with Hikaru?
Yes, I do. Just because I'm like, I feel this because I've also been mistaken for being a lot younger than I am. But overall, I found this like to be a little bit, kind of a bit boring. I mean, this is more of an establishing episode, and yeah, we did get some stuff that happened, like Clef summoning them and then sending them off, and then apparently Clef got turned to stone and thrown off a cliff, and also, oh god, what else happened? The cyclone lady on the horse showed up and, you know, was like throwing stuff at them, and then Hikaru just threw a fireball at her and she died, and then, you know, like they're riding on a griffin and the griffin's like, I'm taking you to a magical place, but I will not take you home. Like it was slow. There was some interesting stuff that happened, but it was like, this is kind of like a high meh, I suppose, as far as like overall enjoyment for this episode.
I wrote down in my notes, imagine going on a field trip and then getting isekai'd and becoming magical warriors to save a mystical land. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what happens. The only other thing I really had to say about the show was that the blue-haired one was the only sane one. So, yeah, it's like a mess to me. Like, it just kind of went one ear out the other to me, personally.
This one did have a little bit of case of the bug eyes. I said, homegirl, the red one, she pulled a smarty with the stupidest haircut. She had like a little afro with a giant rat tail braid. You don't look a day over 11, been there. Also noted that. The villain, baddie. I like the fashion, I don't like the eyes. I like that the girls are knights. The dub kinda sucks. But overall, this one's a yay. Kozi did not think I would like this one, but I would definitely not be mad about watching more of this.
We haven't gotten to the part you won't like yet.
Maybe I will like it. I have liked other mecha shows.
So, I have seen this before. I am a clamp girly at heart. So, that little rabbit thing you saw in the opening, that is Mokona, and Mokona is my love. I love her. She is the best. I watched this in the sub, and I'd never heard the dub, and it had me cackling. Like, I feel like this looped around to this is a dub so bad, it's kinda good. Like, it was just so funny with how bad the dub was. I feel like we didn't get much this episode, but it did establish a lot. Also, the blue-haired one, something about her voice was really bothering me. So, it was Wendy Lee. I had to scroll for quite a while to find what it was that was bothering me. She voiced Dokuro-chan.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
didn't she
And I
also
feel like-
voice Haruhi Suzumiya?
Dude,
She did,
She's
but I
got
feel
like
like-
500 things on her IMDb.
I
Yeah,
feel
she's-
like
yeah.
the voice she was using here was like her Dokuro voice. Because her voice acting normally does not like bother me at all, but it was just something grating about how she did the delivery for this one specifically. But yeah, like, I'm a yay. I had a lot of fun. It helps that I can make fun of this, I think, for Cece, because I kind of know what's going on. Sad for Truck-kun. Still no casualties this week. Train-kun got a couple.
I was gonna
but
say, I'm like, what about Train-kun? Train-kun got, well, technically 2.
That's
I'm not
not
gonna count the cat, because that
Truck-kun.
was not.
Train-kun's his cousin.
I'm like not counting the cat, because the
So,
cat
like,
makes me sad.
Truck-kun really got passed up because Magical Fish-kun is the one that got this isekai.
Yeah.
But I'm a yay.
My first thought watching this was, damn, girl Ranma got her own show. I thought the dubbing in some parts was good, but in a bad way, but in a good way. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a great dub, but I feel like it's either the script or just the line reads. They're just funny. And I thought I was going to be making a lot of fun of this show. I actually really like this. I thought this art style is pretty solid. I feel like it's been a long time since I've watched like a straight fantasy show. Like, just not like we're going to have a video game system involved with this fantasy thing. No, it's just a straight up fantasy show. And I kind of like that. Shredder, why are you not, like, messing with the Ninja Turtles right now? What are you doing in Fantasyland? I didn't understand. But you know what? He seems like he's going to be a decent villain. There's a lot of people here from Digimon, which I'm always a fan of. And then, like, at a certain point, I was like, oh my god, this is what Garzy's wing would have been if it was good. Like...
Wow.
Really think about it. Like, I love the fantasy. I like a classic fantasy feel. This feels like a fantastic setup for like a fun adventure thing. I think it has a decent sense of humor. So far, we haven't seen a whole lot of it, but like the battles are kind of cool in that. I think this is the only one this week that I'm a full-on yay for.
I really enjoyed this as well. I thought the costumes, like the outfits for the people in the magical world were so pretty. Like, I was like, oh my god, they look gorgeous, which is not surprising since it's Clamp. But like when they go on like full fantastical like outfits, like they're usually really pretty, like X1999 type stuff.
I think I need to watch some of those.
Yeah, so I thought it was really beautiful, and I think the setup for the magical world is really interesting. Of course, yeah, I like the art style. The dub was kind of weird, but it didn't hurt me too bad. Like, it was kind of funny, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I would probably choose to watch this in the sub if I had the option. I think regardless of whether or not this would move on, I would keep watching it. Like, I love a good fantasy, same as Al, and I really like the setup and the designs. I like the 3 girls being knights. It seems pretty interesting, and I think I'm interested in seeing more of the magical world. So I would give this a yay.
Oh, is that everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, time to move on to its contender, Tokyo Mew Mew, or Mew Mew Power since we watched the dub. Zoe expected her date with Mark to have a more romantic ending than her falling asleep after seeing a vision of a cat entering her body. Things get even worse when the next day she begins displaying cat-like behavior. However, when Mark is attacked by a monster, Zoe discovers she is able to transform into a cat-eared magical girl. After saving Mark, 2 researchers named Elliot and Wesley approach her and reveal they had injected her with cat DNA in order to create a magical girl that can save the world from aliens. Zoe is tasked with fighting these monsters and finding the other 4 girls that were given powers like her before the aliens completely take over the world. Envy, you're up.
Yes. I need to apologize to you, Al, and to you, Jimmy.
Okay.
Why?
So
You not like this?
No. Let me cook, as the kids say nowadays. Let me cook.
Okay.
Are they still saying
I think
that?
that's on its way out, unfortunately.
Wait. I was gonna say, wait, hang on. Let me turn up the burner so you can actually cook properly.
Anyway, so when we watched this for the channel, I have to admit, I kind of tried to avoid watching it because I figured I didn't like it. I was under the impression that it was going to be too girly and that I was going to torture myself watching it. So when Al was watching it and having a good time because of the 4 kids dub, I was like, good power to you. I just don't think I'm going to enjoy it. Well, karma has a way of catching up to you because now we're watching it for this tournament. And I had a blast watching this episode. I'm not gonna lie, and it's
I was gonna say,
entirely
what are you
because of the
talking
4
about?
kids.
This is
It-
funny.
Oh, so you're
It was-
apologizing to us. I see.
Yes, that's why, because I misjudged the show.
Because we
And
were
granted,
right. I like okay.
Didn't we watch this like twice? Like this, and then also like the
Yeah, we
reboot?
watched the entirety of this show and then 3 episodes of Tokyo Mew Mew New.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I
Oh
watched
my
at
goodness.
least most, if not all, of that like first season.
So like
of the
Envy,
reboot.
you were there when we were doing that, weren't you?
Nope, I skipped that out.
Oh.
Yep.
Like there was
chose to not join.
and there was times where we recorded Magica record and then you guys would immediately go to Tokyo Mew Mew, and I would just excuse myself from like, yeah, I'm just gonna move on. And I apologize for that, because granted, maybe it's entirely the 4Kids dub for making me enjoy the show, because I know Al didn't like the subbed parts of the show as much, but for what was shown, it was a lot of fun. Like, it was the right kind of stupid. And it was like Kirby Right Back at You, where, is this technically good? Maybe not, but is it entertaining? Yes. And I like the main girl. She's funny. Mark, again, this is entirely maybe the dub, but he gives me Fred from Scooby-Doo vibes.
Yes, it is the dub.
Yeah, he just gives me Fred from Scooby-Doo vibes. Like, I'm just picturing Frank Welker saying these lines. Like, it's funny.
Him and his 70-year-old man voice.
Yeah, and again, this is just me not for watching the show. I didn't realize that she actually got the mannerisms and powers of a cat. I just thought that she just dressed up as a cat.
Yeah, don't expect it to ever come back.
So it comes back. It kind of made me in 52 episodes.
I kind of wrote down in my notes. So does that mean that Lettuce has the powers of Iceberg or Romaine?
I guess Iceberg, technically.
Overall, I really enjoyed it. It's I mean, granted, I know that it's technically not, high quality entertainment, but you know what? It's fun. And I can totally see why you and Gav Chibi grew up loving the show and why it's still one of your all-time favorites. So I apologize, and yeah, it's a light yay for me.
Okay, so what I am hearing is next time we do the Tokyo Mew Mew group, you are going to do Mew Mew Inosuke, like we joked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big powers.
I guess it would make sense for Inosuke to dress up like that. Not really, but who cares?
Sleep on it, get back to us.
Okay.
CC made a design for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Remind me afterwards, I'll grab it.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. My notes on this one is Mark is 35. That line where she's like, how do I get over there? But I think about that every single day. Just like, how do I get over there? It's like, look, anyway, the outfits are so cute. This isn't a complaint, but I wish we could see more cat behavior. Like, I kind of like that about her, and then it kind of doesn't really come back. But I wish she would stay so cat-like, and even more cat-like. I wish she would do some sillier things, like someone's eating a cucumber, she turns around and like jumps halfway across the room, or she does that weird like sideways steppy.
I actually I know you told me this last night. She works in a cafe. Yeah. They definitely have cucumber sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, those sliced I don't think counts. I think it's a full cucumber.
Yeah, they think it's a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the most she does is sleep.
Yeah.
So.
And we were talking about like everybody else also getting their characteristics.
Yeah, I wish they would do that too.
Like,
but,
okay. Imagine, I know it's mint, but I grew up with the 4Kids stuff. Imagine Karina walking around, like, she gets spooked, so she just, like, throws her arms up, like, karate, like, you know that, like, pose? Like, birds do that.
The crane pose? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just imagine her, like, mess with me. I mean, Kiki does.
Yeah.
Kiki was always a monkey.
I feel like all of them kind of do, but it's like Zoe's the most pronounced.
Okay, but like, what would Lettuce do? Because she's like, what, a dolphin?
A porpoise.
A porpoise, okay.
I don't know. No one knows what porpoises do.
Porpoises are a type of dolphin.
Yeah, but no one knows what they do.
Oh no. Is she a wild dolphin or a captive dolphin? It makes a difference.
If she's in danger?
She is a little bit boy crazy, if that means anything.
Dolphins like to rape things and chew on pufferfish to get high.
That is a very different Bridget.
Yeah.
Ideas for our new abridged series.
No.
Oh, no.
Bridget on that dank kush.
You said we watched this for the channel?
We
I
did.
think you guys weren't there yet.
I wasn't
No,
there.
It
this
was-
was like
it was
early
early on.
on. Yeah.
It was back when we were like, we're gonna watch the entire series instead of just
We were
3
definitely
episodes.
there for Mew Mew Mew.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That feels kind of familiar. Because I was like, I have zero recollection of this. I know when we did the group cosplay of it, I was like, I need to prepare, I need to watch the show. And I had such a great time with it that I wasn't expecting. And I think a lot of that is due to the 4Kids dub. But this is a yay for me.
Okay. I just want to start by also saying I'm really sorry. I love Mew Mew so fucking much. But I think because I've seen it a couple of times in the past few years, I'm so fucking sick of this first episode. I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to watch her getting the team together. I just want them to all be there and be funny together. Also, like, this may be a bit controversial, but I really don't like Zoe as, like, a protagonist. So, like, to have an entire episode that's really just focused on her, and, like, these first few episodes are really Zoe-focused, I'm like, ugh, my god, I gotta sit through this to get to anything good. The opening, still such a bop. Another good example of, like, a dubbed version of an opening. The show is so fashion. Like, beyond their magical girl outfits, which we really don't get to see a lot of, like, even Zoe's school uniform, I would have loved to have a school uniform like that. Like, it was so cute.
So cute.
I, just based off of this episode, like a meh, just because I really don't like Zoe. And it's so tragic because I really love her design the most.
Guys, this is my favorite magical girl show.
Me
It
too.
is so
I was
bizarre
waiting
to
for it.
say, but this is my favorite magical girl show. I gotta be real though, it's entirely for the dub.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
gets
I remember
so
when we went
fucking
over
funny.
and started. I remember when we went over and started watching like the undubbed episodes.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You were having a lot less
I
fun.
immediately,
with
it went
the
from like a
show.
10 to a 5 for me. I was like, this is boring now. And the worst part is, I wish they would have dubbed it because I can hear in my head the lines they would be saying if it was dubbed. And it's like that's how good it was. That's how good they did. Oh, it was just 26 more episodes. Why didn't you do it 4Kids? Why'd you let me down like that? Anywho, this
it
episode.
got
They lost the
canceled.
rights, yeah.
This
Yeah.
episode. Introductory stuff, all that sort of thing. This show's funny. It's good and bad dub. Huzzah, 4Kids. Zoe borders on being annoying. Oh, hi, Mark. Grown-ass man in children's bodies.
Yeah.
I like to point out, everybody on the internet who's like, "Ooh, we want real cat girls." This is what a real cat girl would be like. Cringe. I'm actually reminded, honestly, of, like, I don't know if anyone else got this. It reminds me of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films for some reason. I don't know if anyone else was getting that a little bit, like that sort of like fun, over-the-top kind of superhero thing. The monster was kind of cool. Elliot's a jerk. That's fun. Good character design. It's silly but decent. Honestly, here's the thing. And here's the only thing that I'm a light yay on it. This isn't their best episode, let's be honest.
No.
Most of my entertainment does come from the dub. So, light yay on this.
So yeah, I agree. Like, this dub and episode is like pretty fun and silly. So I had a good time with that. I think their designs are super cute. Like, I like all their magical girl outfits, and they all like really look good together. Like, as a team, like their outfits just look so good. I don't really have much to add that everybody hasn't said, but I don't know. Like, it didn't do anything like that special for me, I guess. Like, this first episode in particular. Like, I think it was fun, but like, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily make me like, ooh, I gotta watch the next episode or anything like that. But I think like her little cat things were fun. Like, the characters were fun. But overall, I'd give it like a meh, or maybe like a high meh.
So for me, this was my gateway anime.
Mhm.
And I will say rewatching this first episode feels like coming home. Particularly with the dub, because I watched this as the dub first, and then once they stopped putting out episodes of the dub on 4Kids, I immediately went to YouTube and started watching first the dub and then the sub, and I was just like, oh my god, these sound so different.
Yeah.
But I love this dub. It's so fucking funny. They had a really good team of writers working on this, just making so many jokes that still hit so well, even as you get older. Like, she's like, oh, stupid zip cream 24-hour guarantee my ass. Like, those lines, they had me giggling the entire time. And I will say 4Kids because it is like a thing that was for kids. Like, they did cut out like some questionable parts with like because there is this one part in this first episode where she's naked in a liminal space with a little cat spirit that goes inside of her, which was completely cut out.
Ooh. Good choice.
Good for them.
And while it's not like in a sexual way, it's like I'm like, this is a bit weird because she's only like 13. 16 in this dub because they aged up all of the characters pretty much. But yeah, I don't know. This is just, I love this show so damn much, and I love this episode. The monster design for the rat was cool. Just like the characters were good. Like, even with the sub interactions, like, I don't mind them as much. Like, I just like this show. And this is a pretty solid first episode to kind of get us established with what's going to be happening.
Yeah, can I say something about the rat monster?
Yes.
That is exactly how medieval people who'd like never seen a rat used to draw them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like, I love this show. Such good character design, such good everything. I honestly, like, I've seen this first episode so many times. I never really get tired of it, to be honest. But I think that's just like rose-colored glasses kind of like tinging this whole entire thing
You
for
also
me.
really like Zoe.
I do like her. She is annoying, but I love her. I think she deserves a lot better than the goobers that are in this fucking show.
I actually raise. Do you actually like her, or do you just like that she's a cat?
I'm gonna be really honest. I like her quite a lot. I like the cat part, but I also like her. And I'm just like, why do you get a boring as bread guy? You get this guy who's an asshole to you, and then you get the weird alien who's a perv. Why are those your options? Like, stop. Like, come on. Give this girl some better options, please. But yes, like, I love her. She's my favorite. I also love everyone else, but we haven't gotten to them yet. And I want my girls. So this is big yay for me. Big yay. 5 stars. Give it all the golden star stickers.
All right. Time to vote, everybody. Envy, we're starting with you. Who's getting your yay?
If you would have told me at the start of this tournament that I would be voting for Tokyo Mew Mew, I would have said you were crazy. But you know what? Never judge a book by its cover. I'm going to vote Tokyo Mew Mew.
I left the winner blank on this one because I would not mind either show going forward, and I figured I would just wait until the moment arrives and see if anyone's speeches push me in one way or the other. And I think I have to go with Mew Mew because it is such a good time, and I know I will have fun with it.
I am a clamp girly at heart, and I know I struggled to get through the first episodes of Mew Mew. And also, again, I've just seen it a couple times within the past year, so I am going Magic Knight RayEarth.
You guys ever seen anything with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN?
No.
No, I try to avoid him like the plague.
I've seen some bits of like stuff where Jay Farrow did an impression of him on Saturday Night Live, and it's one of the funniest things I've seen. But like, I'm feeling like him in this moment. This hurts me to say, because Tokyo Mew Mew is the GOAT. But in the fourth quarter of a Miami Heat basketball game, I gotta go with Magic Knight RayEarth. I think it had a stronger plot going for it, and I gotta be real, Tokyo Mew Mew is purely for the dub. And I feel like there might actually be a little more potential with RayEarth, despite the fact that Tokyo Mew Mew, you are still my favorite magical girl anime.
I'm also
It's
going.
nice to try new things.
Yeah.
I'm also going with Magic Knight RayEarth.
Oh, we have a tie.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Do we?
Chibi, did you go
Yes.
Mew Mew?
Oh yeah. We do have a tie. Oh no.
And Gav dropped
gonna
from
say,
the
I'm
tournament.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if Magic Knight RayEarth had a bit of a stronger opening for me, I probably would have voted for it since we've seen Mew Mew already, but... Oh.
Do we flip a coin? What do we do?
I have to ask.
Can we keep both and eliminate one of the Percy ones?
Oh,
Please.
yeah.
Sadly, that's not how a tournament fucking works.
Damn it.
I have a question. Was anyone anywhere remotely on the fence that they might flip?
Yes.
Okay. Let's... What was your vote?
I voted Mew Mew.
I'm, like, trying to think if we, like, need to sway, like, somebody to, like, switch votes or something. Because it's like...
I mean, I could just purely bully Cece by giving her puppy eyes right now.
I'm not looking, I'm knitting. I can switch to RayEarth to even it out. I'm
gonna
very
say
interested
this.
in that one as well.
If we were to say that your original thing of, like, you wanted either of these to go is it abstain, then RayEarth wins.
Okay.
So we would have a decision at
Yeah,
that
I think that's fair.
Is everyone good with that?
I will
That's fine.
officially withdraw.
Okay. We may have
I
to
have
do this
seen Mew
again
Mew.
at some point if this
Okay.
becomes a thing, unfortunately.
Okay, you want to know what I will say about Mew Mew? I think we should all watch the 4Kids dub together because I think that would be the most optimal viewing experience for it.
Guys,
That's
we
true.
have
Especially 'cause
done
Envy
this,
hasn't
and
seen
I'm
it.
willing to do it again. And I'm going to say to you out there in the audience, the entire 4Kids dub is on YouTube. You should be watching it
is.
right now. After this video,
Yes.
and a couple other of our videos, if you could please. But, like, you know, go watch the 4Kids dub of Mew Mew. It's fucking hilarious. And then compare it to the sub.
It's
And I'm going to be
so
honest with you,
good.
it's going to be a letdown when you get to the sub. But
Kind of like with the ghost
Aw.
stories.
yeah, it's I
I-
put it on par. Well, maybe not on par, but it's up there with the Ghost Stories dub.
No, okay, so I want to argue with, oh, it's only good because of the dub. Like, the
I didn't
actual
say
plot
that.
line is good. No,
I kinda
Cece
said
just
that.
did.
That's fair. Tokyo Mew Mew does like have a plot. Ghost Stories does not. It does not work without the dub.
I just feel like the dub draws in more people. Like, it reaches a larger audience.
Okay,
Maybe more like Pokemon.
Yes.
so Magic Knight RayEarth moves on. Tokyo Mew Mew gone, but forever in our hearts.
I'm gonna
Are-
still be watching.
Can we have
it.
an in memoriam?
For that and for our eyeballs. from
Honestly, you know
bullshit
what?
we've had to watch.
Next time we get together after the tournament, I'm probably gonna rewatch the whole 26 episodes of the 4Kids dub just for fun.
Okay, wait,
There's a
spring
couple-
birthdays come, or no.
Yeah, we
Winter
should
birthdays
just...
coming up.
I'm gonna throw
Wedding
this out
Peach
there.
and Tokyo Mew Mew.
Yeah.
There's a few here that I still want to continue watching. We finished our first round. These are the preliminaries are done. We got our Sweet 16. Let's read them off real quick. We got Revolutionary Girl Utena, Demon Girl Next Door, Magical Destroyers, Grand Belm, Princess Tutu, Magical Do-Re Mi, Shugo Chara, Cute High Earth Defense Club Love, Card Captor Sakura, Saint Tail, Sugar Sugar Rune, Pre-Tier, Madoka Magica, Magical Girl Raising Project, Sailor Moon, and Magic Knight RayEarth. I think there's at least 3 shows that got eliminated that I'm gonna continue watching. Wedding Peach, Ore, and 100% Tokyo Mew Mew at this point. I don't know about anyone else, but that's where I'm at.
Tokyo Mew Mew for me, that's pretty much the only one.
Elle, I'm so down to binge watch Wedding Peach with you.
Yeah, I gotta see Wedding Peach too.
Okay, we got a
Well,
couple fun binge shows. This is gonna be good.
Listen, can we just have a binge party?
We gotta have
I'm-
some.
Yeah,
drink.
I'm
With
down
Wedding
for a
Peach.
weekly binge party.
Ooh, and we all have fuzzy navels.
I'm sorry, I have a very hairy stomach. Is that what you're talking about, or what are you
The
talking about?
drink?
No.
It's a
The
drink.
drink.
Oh, okay.
It's an alcoholic beverage. It's got peach in it.
Okay. I'm gonna
Ooh,
drink
or
whiskey
balloons.
like I normally do.
I've been
Ooh, that too.
really into Bellini lately. I have a Bellini
I
sparkling water.
feel like,
I'm like Mark. I'm so
What?
basic.
What's the champagne and orange juice thing? I
Mimosas?
feel like that's appropriate.
Mimosa.
Wedding
Yeah,
peach
mimosa.
brunch?
Oh my god,
Is
wedding
that what we're
peach
talking
brunch!
about?
Yes.
All right, we're
With
making
mimosas
we're
and
making
waffles.
mimosas and waffles and like a bunch of other shit. Wedding peach brunch after the tournament. I love it.
Pancake instead
Wonderful.
of waffle when you guys have all those freaking waffle makers.
Makers, though.
Okay, pancakes and waffles. Fuck it.
Pancakes, waffles.
Waffle
Yeah.
makers are just hard to clean, but
I'll-
we have
I know.
special brushes.
I'll show up
I
with
was making
fake
a
tits.
joke.
It'll be
Peaches.
great.
We need peaches.
Peaches.
All right, let's talk.
We need
next
to
week.
specifically get Asian peaches, so.
Let's talk real quick because we need to wrap this up. We got to talk about next week because it's going to be the first round of the Sweet 16. We're finally getting back to shows that we've seen and have already moved on from these preliminary rounds. Now, specifically, we are going to be watching 2 episodes apiece for the shows that we're going to be watching, and we're going to start doing the categories again. It's no longer just okay, are we even remotely interested in you anymore? Now you have to actually show that you're worth being in this tournament for. So the 5 categories we're going to be covering: plot, characters, world building, production, and final thoughts, which is essentially just our final X Factor kind of thing to make sure that we don't ever have ties within our own judging systems. So we're going to be doing that. Our first week, we're going to be watching the next 2 episodes of Revolutionary Girl Utena, and they're going to go up against the next 2 episodes of The Demon Girl Next Door. And we're going to be watching the first 2 episodes of Magical Destroyers versus the next 2 episodes of Granbell. So we're gonna get our dynamic duos and locked and loaded champions and winners of the entire brackets next week. And we're gonna keep going from there until we're down to an Elite 8. Is everybody ready for things to get in depth?
I think we're about to see a lot of easy sweeps.
Maybe, maybe not. I can never tell sometimes with certain things. But we're going to find out. Any final thoughts before we leave? Cece, how's the scarf going?
It's going great. Maybe I'll give you an updated photo this week.
Hey, can you put it horizontally? That way I don't have to turn it 90 degrees?
Yes.
That'd be super.
I can do that.
That'd be super duper duper. Okay, yeah. Don't forget, link in the description for that whole thing and blah blah blah.
I did look up the Yuki Yuna thing to see what exactly made it dark. Apparently they lose function of their bodies. So they go blind, deaf, someone just loses her limbs.
Well, one of them is halfway there.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, it was definitely in the right
That's fucked
category. Okay, well, we'll be coming around to that category again in another 3-4 weeks or something. Meantime, dynamic duos and locked and loaded next week. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoy this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!